So back long before I started working for myself, I was working for a fairly large employer to save, to save these people any embarrassment. I won't tell you exactly who they are, but they were a high street name. And when I was working for them, I had a boss, and I used the word boss specifically because he wasn't a leader, he wasn't a manager, he was a boss. He used to boss you around. He did not like anyone saying anything back to him. He did not like anyone else's opinion. It was either his way or the highway. And two specific examples come up to me, come to mind when I'm thinking about this guy and about how he made me feel, about what it made me, sort of how it made me look at my life and look at my life differently. The first was I was always very efficient. I was good at my job. I knew what I was doing. I liked to be left alone to do it. But the problem was that sometimes I was too efficient. I was getting the job done a lot earlier, a lot sooner than other people in that position would do. Um, and what this would mean was that usually after about 4 or 5 hours of being in the building, I've done the day's work. So I've got sort of 3 hours left with nothing really to do except deal with the occasional inquiry and the occasional person who walks in. Um, so my boss would walk around and see me not doing anything, and he'd be furious at me because I wasn't doing my job when in fact I'd already done it. I was so efficient, I'd done my work for the day. There was nothing else for me to do. Everything was signed off, everything was done, everything was ordered, everything was in. It was all dealt with. So what I had to start doing was hiding from him, and not in the physical sense. I wasn't actually physically hiding or not being around where I should be. I was hiding my ability from him. And so what I ended up doing was for the first 4 or 5 hours of the day, I'd do my job. And then for the other three, I'd start undoing my job. So it looked like I was doing work. So I looked busy, when in fact, all I was doing was creating more work for myself so that I could continue to look busy. I was spinning my wheels. And it made me feel so frustrated because I knew I was better than that. But because I had this guy there who would fly off the handle at the drop of a pin, I was tiptoeing around that. And therefore, I was just going, I need to hide my ability from this person. And I need to just look like I'm busy rather than actually doing anything work, meaningful or work related. I just need to look like I'm doing it, even if I'm actually, doing the precise opposite of work. I'm undoing work. So because of all this, I not only felt really frustrated in the work I was doing, but I also felt incredibly devalued. Like he didn't value my abilities and the fact that I was a very good worker at all. He just wanted someone in that position.